What's going on, guys? It's T90 Official, and welcome back to another Age of Empires 2 video. This one is so special. I'm so excited to cast this game. Oh my god. So it's a 1v1 between two of the most entertaining and best players in the world. We have the Fat Dragon, the memer recently. The guy has been trolling and disrespecting and going wild recently, which I love. He's playing in the south of the map, playing as the Aztecs, and then we have MBL. In the north, who's playing as the Britons. Both of these two play a lot. They're very consistently in the top 10 in the rankings. And they're also two very entertaining players. Almost every time they play a game, I know as a content creator that this could be going to YouTube because they're just so good and so much fun to watch. Also, because they're both so active and because they played probably hundreds of games together, they tend to troll each other a little bit. And, you know, MBL and Vivi, which is Fat Dragon's like main name, they tend to chat sometimes. And, you know, you guys have probably heard the I Know Pig before. That was something that the Fat Dragon started. You Know Me, that was something that he started. It's funny, you know, he has these little phrases because he doesn't have the best English. And everyone, when they speak to Vivi, they speak in all caps as well, and they speak in a Vivi way. MBL does that. He always turns on caps lock when he's speaking to him. But, you know, the other day, and this is just to give you guys an idea of how much these two troll each other, which is going to set us up for the rest of this cast. The other day, I was watching, there was a team game, and the host of the game had removed MBL as a player and put him as a spectator. And Vivi wasn't even playing at all. Fat Dragon was just watching. But he posted this, which I thought was absolutely hilarious. He says, "Give Max host. Max so bang, so good, MBL noob." And that's my new favorite Fat Dragon saying right there. Max so bang, so good, MBL noob. Max, of course, is another pro player, and Fat Dragon was just letting MBL know how he feels about his skills, I guess. But anyways, so let's talk about the game here. This is something I've never seen in competitive AoE 2, by the way. I'm so excited to show you guys this. Fat Dragon is in the south, playing as the Aztecs. I probably already said that. And then we have Britons for MBL in the north, and they're playing on Arabia, which is very, very common for pro players to do during just rated games. And to be completely honest with you, MBL is going to have a tough time here with this Civ matchup. If you're thinking about the strengths of Britons, they have their archers. And unfortunately, MBL is up against a very strong Meso Civ, a very strong Eagle civilization, and Eagles are anti-archer. Not only that, but Aztecs get siege ram. And that's something that Britons can struggle against in late game. So for MBL here, as players are about to advance to Feudal Age soon, he has to make sure that he scouts what Fat Dragon is going for and tries to get some early momentum, I think. More often than not, you'll see the Aztec player open up with Man-at-Arms. So maybe MBL could switch it up a little bit since he's expecting that. Go for a different build order. He does have 3 on wood right now, which would tell me that he might be thinking about going scouts, which MBL does a lot, actually. And the reason he does that is because he feels like it suits his economy a bit better because you build more farms. Yeah, we'll see. Before they reach Feudal Age, though, I just do want to talk about the maps. I was too busy talking about other things. It's also not the best map for MBL. His main gold's on the right-hand side. This is fine if he's able to build up and fortify the hill. But his second gold and his third gold's forward. In fact, the third gold is in the center of the map. So I would say that Fat Dragon certainly has the Civ advantage. I mean, it's not like it's a clear Civ win or anything because Britons have strong options, but, you know, he has the map advantage as well. So, MBL scouts the barracks that Fat Dragon has built. Fun fact, by the way. Shoot, he has to come back here for me to be able to show you this. Okay, check this out. Not sure if it works when there's a pause. I've been thinking about making a video on this. Let me know in the YouTube comments if you're interested. There's all of these little things that pro players do, and all of these things are unknown sometimes. So I want to make this one known. If you are scouting your opponent's barracks in a game and you click it, and this actually goes for any military building, it will show if there's a gather point. So at the moment, you see I click that when MBL is scouting it, there's no X on the minimap. But Fat Dragon is probably going to set an X here. Because he probably wants to... Oh, come on, Fat Dragon, garrison it. Okay, he has an X set right there, right? So if MBL goes near that barracks and clicks that, I guess we're not on his fog of war, but I'm on his point of view and I'm clicking it. You see that? You see how it shows the X there? Now, it doesn't do that if you click it when you're not scouting it, so I have to, for the sake of the example, turn off fog of war. But anyway, so it doesn't necessarily apply to this situation because MBL scouts the militia coming, but if you're ever wondering if your opponent might be drushing you or going man-at-arms, look for that X there. If you see the X's in the center of the map, like Fat Dragon is doing right now, then you could probably guess that he's sending those units forward instead of keeping them at home. But the big thing for MBL there was just to make sure that he saw this was coming so he wouldn't be surprised by it. And he is now building his stable. And the idea behind this for MBL is just to get an eco lead. Now, scouts are mobile. The scouts can trade versus militia. They can trade versus eagles. So can TC fire. The Fat Dragon ran into the TC fire there a bit. But yeah, it's actually not an awful thing. And then you just transition into archers later on, if you're Britons. But unfortunately, you know, Fat Dragon... Ooh! Nice micro from MBL! MBL just kills that militia. He didn't take a single shot in his scout. I was going to say, unfortunately for MBL, he won't be able to do too much against these units here once the spearman comes forward. And Fat Dragon is beginning to do what you have to do when you're playing as a Meso Civ, which is a slower Civ because they don't get horses. You have to wall up. And I think the end goal here is to wall and get into the Eagle Warriors. The Fat Dragon was thinking about attacking the stable, thought twice about it, and will now loop around to do some damage in MBL's economy. MBL, now I say that his eco should be stronger. He just now got Horse Collar, which is the farm upgrade. And he also didn't wall in his villagers there. It's kind of peculiar if you ask me. I mean, he kind of had the time to deal with that, so that's unlike MBL. It's not quick wall. Like nowadays, players are so quick with walls and gates. To not see anything there, or hear either from MBL is really weird, and MBL will lose a villager. So I don't know if he was sleeping on the job there. I don't know if he just had confidence that he could fight it off with villagers like he ended up doing. But, you know, that's some damage done. He had to pull those villagers off of wood. Now they're doing a little dance here, ring around the rosy. These villagers just on stragglers. That's certainly inefficient. And MBL did show up here to counterattack. Unfortunately, he just killed one spearman, I believe. He wasn't able to kill any villagers. So yeah, MBL and Fat Dragon will play games and they'll trash talk each other. It's hilarious, and I think it's so cool how we have such a tight-knit community. There's not many active players at this level. There's only about, well, Fat Dragon and MBL are top 10, right? So there's not a lot. So for them to be so kind to one another amongst the trolls is always nice. And nice gates. This is what MBL should have gone for. He should have gone for the Age of Gates earlier, right? He could have gone with gates. He could have gone with palisades. Nice moves from Fat Dragon, man. And now, you see, now he's completely fine against this. 2 spearmen, 2 eagles, starting to mass those eagles. And this is where MBL might be considering mixing in some, like an archer range to make a few archers. And then if you make the archers, you kill the spears. And then feudal age scouts are actually half decent versus just feudal age eagles. But yeah, back to my point. I'm so grateful for a lot of things. I'm so grateful that I'm talking about a 20-year-old game for my job. Like, how ridiculous is that? I mean, I'm so motivated with all of this right now. The amount of growth that the channel is getting on YouTube and Twitch, and just the fact that Age of Empires 2 is alive and well is exciting for me. And we're so lucky, not only for the amount of people that are watching nowadays and the pro players, but we're lucky that the pro players are good people, man. I don't know much about other games, but I do know that, you know, the internet in general can be kind of a toxic place sometimes, depending on where you go and where you look. And, you know, competitors can be that way as well. And there could be like real real enemies. You know, like, they absolutely despise people they play, but there's not a lot of that in Age of Empires 2. MBL has done a great job here. I mean, he's gone to stone here, guys, so he's going to give us something that you don't often see. There's going to be two things that you don't often see in this game. Sorry, I keep rambling, just the coffee, but he's going to stone for longbows, so he hasn't made any archers. He's just made a few skirmishers for those spearmen, and he has 8 kills and 1 death, so he's done a good job. He's picked off the reinforcements twice now. He killed an eagle, he killed a spear. And again, Fat Dragon, he's just thinking, yeah, I want to go to the next stage. He's not too worried about doing damage here, but he tries to kill MBL's villager here. She's able to survive, but again, MBL probably could have stopped this. Maybe it was the first game of the day for him or something. Maybe he just wasn't warmed up yet, but I feel like this is all kind of unnecessary. It's making life difficult for himself. Now, Fat Dragon is walled at home, right? So those scouts probably will come back to deal with this. Now, it's good and bad for Fat Dragon. I actually think it's kind of bad. It's good that he's done damage to the villagers, but he hasn't killed anything. And what's crucial for him is that he needs his eagle mass, and he hasn't really had a massive military all game. In fact, it'll be, okay, 12 kills and 2 deaths now for MBL. So all things considered with the KD, it's not bad for MBL. I think the concern is he going to be going with the right units? Does he have a mass of units that he can upgrade? Now, I had a question last week from a viewer on my stream, and they asked me, why are eagles so prevalent nowadays? Whereas years ago, before the expansions, you never saw eagles in Castle Age from Aztecs. It would always be man-at-arms or militia into crossbows. And the reason is because of momentum. In fact, momentum is bigger now in our meta than it ever has been in Age of Empires 2. And what I mean by that is, you can create the eagles in Feudal Age now. So you create these units, you can start massing them. Fat Dragon currently has 9 military, and it's about to be 11. You get this big mass going in Feudal Age, and then you just click some upgrades. And then they become beastly. Whereas with knights, for example, like MBL could think about going knights versus eagles if he had a stronger knight civ. So let's say he was going to go knights. He can't create many versions of knights. He can create many versions of light cav. He can create scout cavs and upgrade them, but light cav are really weak. So, you know, that's the same with archers. You know, making archers in Feudal Age, you mass them while you're on your way to Castle Age, get a big ball of them and upgrade them. They're strong, and it's the same with eagles. And that's why you see it a lot more often nowadays. So MBL, he's building a castle, guys. And if MBL is able to pull this off properly, he could have a pretty sweet boom behind it as well. Britons have cheap TCs, so it's quite easy for them to add town centers, create more villagers, and create the longbows. It will just be concerning that the longbow is countered by eagles, because eagles have high pierce armor. But in Castle Age, I think MBL, if he gets enough of them, could do something. We'll see. Fat Dragon has been a bit wasteful with his military this game. Remember, he said Max so bang, MBL noob, so he's got to prove that here. And nice patience from MBL, nice realization, I guess, that, you know, he needed to leave his gold. Probably could have built the castle here, but maybe it wouldn't have been up in time. He didn't want to build a doubt castle, because that would be on YouTube. Only scouts, no upgrades. They'll help a little bit versus eagles, but not much. And, you know, I'm thinking, okay, MBL, why didn't you try and force that castle up in front of your gold? So it's easy to say now, of course, but it's been a little bit wasteful from both of them, and this is the 3rd time that MBL has led Fat Dragon into his base. And a few knights for MBL, TC fire for MBL. You know what, he's gonna kill the eagles because the eagles didn't have their full armor. Nah, who even knows? I mean, the big difference here is gonna be the fact that Fat Dragon still has amassed the military units he wants to be creating all game. And also, he is untouched at home economically. 44 villagers for him and 38 for MBL. Another thing Fat Dragon has done a decent job on, and he'll need to, is scouting those relics. Aztecs get 33% more gold per each relic. There's 5 on the map, and he sees 2 of them right now. And he's also building a monastery nice and early. So, you know, that's gone up, and he'll start looking for those relics. So this is where Britons should really struggle against Aztecs. That's why I had said, ideally for MBL, he would have done a little bit more in Feudal Age, and even more than the 12 kills he did get. Maybe the longbows have 7 range right now, and if he gets Bodcanero, MBL will have 8 range. He's at 1, 2, soon to be... Oh, sorry, it would be 3 total here, and then 4 TCs. So he might catch up with the bill count. But unfortunately, he just needs patience right now. Focus on his boom, focus on his economy, and wait till he gets enough longbows to one-shot these eagles. Which might seem unreasonable, might seem a bit ridiculous that that could even happen, but it can because of the range, and also a lot of these eagles are weak. Again, good micro from MBL, whittling down some of these eagle numbers. But Fat Dragon is a confident player. Very confident, will realize the situation. And he's actually sending a villager forward here. Maybe a siege workshop. A siege workshop would be a great idea. Right on the hill. Make a few mangonels. Because remember, MBL, he has this gold now, but he doesn't have this gold later on. And this one isn't exactly secured. I always like how the longbows are like, ready. Yay, yay. Mandatum. Yeah, there's a siege workshop. That's such a good move, I think. Because if it's just eagles, the longbows can hit and run, but if you have a mangonel in there, it can make it complicated for the longbows, and it could surprise MBL. Now, the longbows would have 8 range if they got Bodcanero. MBL's using the food to create villagers right now, but he'll probably get that. And then also MBL has some knights, so the mangonel might not do anything. But at the moment, for Fat Dragon, he has 1 relic already. You can see he's scouted this one. He's getting this one, so that'll be 2 relics. And that's a huge deal, and then he's also applying pressure back on the gold. Again, I don't think he did any damage with kills, but just giving himself some time. Oh, and MBL wants to castle here. I bet he has 646 stone. That's the worst, actually, when you're just a few stones short of your castle. He does not know about the mangonel that's on the way. His knight's about to die. And these longbows were pushed back. It was good micro from MBL to conserve his numbers. Okay, getting Bodcanero. So the longbows will have that 8 range. They'll have the extra attack. But he has to garrison his town center. MBL has 30 idols at the moment. And the attack round from Fat Dragon was really good. He predicted the movement of the longbows. I think MBL's castle is going to go up. As you can see, the longbows are decent versus eagles, but I think Fat Dragon just buying himself some time here. Beautiful garrison from MBL. Gets the castle up. Will kill both mangonels. Will also kill, an eagle. And probably more if he continues his push. And now he has 2 castles to produce from. But Fat Dragon knows it's not all about the KD. He realizes that if he gets the relics, controls this map, gets to Imp, and gets to Elite Eagle, which is going to give him insane Pierce Armor and attack, then everything will be peachy. I love how players use their weak scouts to scout the rest of the map. Something that MBL actually didn't do this game, and he's really well known for that. But it's cool to see the longbows in action. As you can see, the mangonels on their own, not going to do too much. And even the eagles, I think it takes 2 volleys from these longbows to kill an eagle warrior, so Fat Dragon probably should just conserve his numbers. Oh! And nice micro from MBL. So this is where MBL should try and take control in some way. Try and push. Can't do a lot more. Maybe he could go knights and longbows. It's a huge investment, though. He'd never go imp because of the amount of food he'd put into his knights. But yeah, maybe just this. Maybe just boom, master longbows and micro. Fat Dragon also healing up his eagles right now. And MBL snipes 2 of those monks. Guys, Fat Dragon is on the way to the Imperial Age. So far, this has been a pretty close game. The population, there's only 3 in it. A Fat Dragon, he's closing in on the Eagles, or sorry, on the Longbows with his Eagles, and he realizes he shouldn't be chasing there. Ends up losing 2 of his numbers. But what's about to happen is something, again, I've never seen between 2 pro players. I can't wait. I actually can't wait. I'm sure you guys already know. I haven't thought of the title or the thumbnail or anything for this YouTube video yet. But, you know, Fat Dragon has to be careful here. That's a lot of MBL Longbowmen. Beautiful micro from Fat Dragon with the splits, but he's still losing numbers. Now, can he get a good surround on these Longbowmen? Because for Fat Dragon, the worst time to take a fight is now. The worst time to lose numbers would be now. Because he needs these units to be elite Eagle Warrior. And honestly, I don't really love the fight. In fact, I haven't loved most of his fights in this game. MBL has 64 kills and 28 deaths. It has been wasteful for the Fat Dragon. But, you know, he's a chubby boy. He's a chubby dragon. He sees this gold. He's going to place a TC here. He sees this gold. He sees this gold. He has 4 relics now. And the 5th one is right here, and he's looking for it. So, as the game goes on, he is going to be heavily favored because of his composition, but also because of the amount of resources that he'll have. But yeah, the longbows are doing work. Mass Longbow and Castle Age, they're alright versus Eagles. The problem is, in the Imperial Age, that's when longbows need something more in front. And MBL will be right behind Fat Dragon to the Imperial Age. But again, why take this fight? You know? It's a bad fight. It's not a fight that Vivi should take. So he wants to TC this gold as well. So this 3-tile gold and this 3-tile gold. Those are the 2 extra golds that are on the map. Every single game, on Arabia at least, there's always going to be 2 extra 3-tile golds. Okay, now with plate mail armor and elite eagle, you have 6 pierce armor, 60 HP, 9+2 attack at the moment. So this is where MBL needs something in front, and now he's starting to mass knights. I say mass knights, he only has 3 of them, and they have 0 upgrades. So it just takes so much. To make eagles, you just need a decent amount of food and a lot of gold. And with 4 relics as Aztecs, those extra gold piles, you're gonna have the gold. But to go longbows and to go knights, you need a lot of wood, a lot of gold, a lot of food, and a lot of time. And Fat Dragon is aware of that. So this engagement finally is looking better for him, right? He's chewing up these longbow numbers before the longbows are upgraded. He's pressuring MBL. And, you know, this has been the theme, I think, where Fat Dragon might lose his numbers, but he's just been able to make more units. 600 stone. He's probably thinking about a castle. If he builds a castle, he can get conscription. Conscription is a huge upgrade, by the way. Like, it is a must for the Imperial Age. You need to prioritize that so you can create units faster. And then also you could get Garland Wars, which is the really cool Aztec unique tech. It would give him +4 attack. So it would be, instead of 9+4, it'd be 9+8. It'd give him extra attack there. Fat Dragon was about to get his 5th relic, and MBL just sniped that. And guys, I have never seen what you are about to see in an expert 1v1 game. Fat Dragon has 4 relics. The population is 135 to 125, and he's been losing his military all game. Certainly should be favored, but it's not a clear enough like victory, or it's not looking like a clear enough victory for him to build a wonder. The Disrespecc. Fat Dragon is placing a wonder in the corner. Now, for those that don't know, I think this monk is going to die, and so he's still failing to get the 5th relic. For those that don't know what this building is, and what it costs 1,000 stone, 1,000 wood, and 1,000 gold to build. And if you play with standard win condition, it will start a countdown at the top right once it's completed. However, pros never play with that. They always play on conquest, which means you need to kill your opponent. So this wonder is only to rub it in MBL's face, basically. And MBL, of course, doesn't know what's going up. But I'm sure he's going to find out eventually, and I'm sure he's not going to be very happy about it. But it's just crazy the amount of eco that Fat Dragon has, because that's so many resources. He built a wonder before he even had a castle. So he didn't get conscription, he didn't get like the 9+4. He's about to get his 5th relic. Not sure if this monk is going to make it back or not. I assume that's going to die. Oh my god, yeah, it was close. But yeah, Fat Dragon's building a wonder. And again, I've never seen 2 top 10 players do this to one another. I've seen like a top 10 player do it to a top 100 player and build the wonder in the center of the map or something, but yeah, never seen anything like that. And MBL, you know, give the guy credit. He has elite longbow now, so he has 11 attack on these bad boys, 11 range as well. And he's decided to make light cav as a buffer in front. He's doing all right, but you know, will be 5 relics for Fat Dragon, and that's not only 5 relics, but that's 5 Aztec relics. And now the key ingredient to beating Britons, Siege Ram. A lot of people ask me, nice micro with the monk. A lot of people ask me, how do you beat Britons? Because most people think that Britons is the best civ in the game, and honestly, it's not the best civ in the game. It's very good, but you know, Eagles, as you can see, do work. But if you have Siege Rams as well, Britons don't have a big response to Siege Rams. So what you can do is you can load up the Eagle Warriors into the Siege Rams, and these Siege Rams have hundreds of HP, and the longbows, they just do 1 shot to them. So you would need, I forget the exact HP on a ram, forgive me, it's 200 something. You would need 200 longbows to 1-shot a ram. So if you have 10 Siege Rams in front, then your Eagles get to attack the longbows as the longbows are distracted by that meat shield. Fat Dragon still does not have Garland Wars. Okay, he's gonna get that now. And the wonder, I'm sure you're all wondering. Okay, that was unintentional, but I'm not gonna complain. That pun was pretty good. He's at 45% here. So, honestly, I'm not sure. I haven't talked to Vivi about this. I kind of feel like Fat Dragon has taken his foot off the gas a little bit here. Because I think with 5 relics, Siege Ram, like this small base, I really feel like he could kill MBL if he were to run in. But I think that he wants his wonder to complete. That's what it seems like, because he's just playing it safe. He does have a small attack here, but he's not sending all of his forces when he could. I guess he can't take this gold for now, but MBL can't take it either. And MBL has plate barding, so he has some armor on his light cav, but they're still just light cav. Only 60 HP, 8 attack. Very poor melee armor. It helps versus the Rams, though. It's something. MBL even created 2 militia. Way to go, man. So, treadmill crane was researched. That makes the villagers build faster. So Fat Dragon really wants this wonder to be completed. He wants the Disrespecc to be completed. And look at his resources. Now, if you haven't realized already, I kind of knew what was going to happen going into this. So just keep an eye on those resources. He has 1,300 stone. The gold is going to come. He's probably still feeling very comfortable. Is he gonna do another one? Now, it's not like he was building this with just 5 villagers. He really committed to this. These villagers were building a moment ago. They went to stone. 90%. It takes a long time to build those wonders. MBL still has no clue. And now a forward wonder for Fat Dragon! Right in MBL's face! Right in the center of the map! And MBL just types 11, which is the laughing taunt. Now, as far as MBL knows, that's the only wonder. He realizes this is going to be a really tough battle for him, but he thinks that that's the first wonder for Fat Dragon. Little does he know that this wonder is about to be completed in the corner. So that is now 2,000 gold, 2,000 stone, and 2,000 wood that Fat Dragon has committed towards buildings that are useless. It's just a troll. It's just an in-your-face thing. And instantly after the fight comes in, MBL calls the GG, and Fat Dragon replies with GG as well. So not one wonder, but 2 wonders for Fat Dragon. This one MBL never scouted. But oh my god, man, I love it. Max so bang, so good, MBL noob. Oh, it's great. Well, I spoke to MBL and I said, hey, MBL, and you know, Fat Dragon he's disrespected Viper a little bit with his trolls. He's now done MBL. He's getting all the Norwegians. Like, they have to get him back with something, right? They play a lot of rated games together. I know that many players are not a huge fan of Fat Dragon's style, but he only goes forward 20% of the time, let's be honest. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing like what out-of-the-box ideas people are going to have for games when they play Fat Dragon, because Fat Dragon does not shy away from a little bit of, I don't know if controversy is the right word, but a little bit of trolling. I'll look at the achievements now for you guys. You know, again, so many resources. This economy was just insane. It was not great for MBL to have those golds forward, let's be honest. I think we can all recognize that it was probably a Civ win for Fat Dragon, but and potentially a map win as well. He just played perfect. Fat Dragon just played perfect. With the way, I shouldn't say he played perfect with the fights, but with the way that he controlled his eco and controlled the map. His macro was good, his micro was eh. But 26,000 food, 19,000 wood, 3,500 stone, and then 22,000 gold. The power of Aztecs. MBL, it's hard for me to say where he went wrong. I think if he goes all in Knights there in Castle Age, he dies because Britons lack bloodlines. Also, of course, Aztecs could just mix in pikemen with their Eagle Warriors. Maybe Longbows was a bit ambitious. Maybe he could have gone crossbows and Knights. A mix, maybe. But there's a reason that most pro players seem to consider Aztecs to be the #1 civ in the game. You could see just how easy it was. Even though the KD was so bad for Fat Dragon, I mean, even ended the game with more units lost, it still was a clear win for him. The MBL did struggle with scouting, so, you know, maybe had he scouted where those relics were, he could have taken some for himself and kept them away from Fat Dragon, but I still think it probably would have been an uphill climb. 69% of the map explored for MBL. Nice. Yeah, and here's the timeline. The Wonder Construction... Oh god, am I T90 blind? Does it not show Wonder Construction when it's not standard win conditions? I mean, if it's there, I am really blind because I don't see it, but that's interesting. You know, again, I rarely see wonders when it's standard win conditions, so never really looked for it before, but I knew you guys would be wanting to see it. So anyway, guys, I know this was a bit different. I know it wasn't the most serious game ever, but I hope you guys did enjoy it. I'm really enjoying the way this community is going right now. There's been a new wave of people into the YouTube channel. I haven't been doing this full time for very long now, or I'm about 4 months away from 2 years, which seems like a long time, but it really hasn't been. And so I'm really grateful that so many people are getting into Age 2 and playing or just watching and being so positive as well. My community is really cool. So I'm probably going to bring this up in another cast, which might be an upload tomorrow. I have reworked the way I do YouTube content because I really want to make sure that every game I upload is good. I know that not everyone likes community games and not everyone likes expert games. So I'm going to make sure there's a good solid mix. And I'm going to also make sure that, you know, you don't miss out on the big tournaments as well. So I hope that you guys have noticed that recently. It seems like the response has been good. I really want to make sure that you guys are excited to see every day instead of just, oh, this is just a random export from T90's stream, which can be good every now and then depending on the game, but I'm being a little bit more picky. So anyways, I won't ramble any longer. Thank you guys very much for watching this, and I hope to see you on the next video, and have a good one.